He would come to be known to the world as Chronix, but long before the festival lights and chart-topping anthems, his legacy was already being shaped by grief, grit, and an almost stubborn faith in roots music. Today, his name sits at the center of the modern reggae revival, spoken with reverence by elders who recognize the lineage in his voice, and by young fans who hear themselves in his urgency. The road there wasn't smooth. Loss pulled him forward before he felt ready. Industry politics tested his patience. Fame demanded a version of him that he kept resisting. Yet, again and again, he chose the harder path, to move slowly, to sing truthfully, to carry his community with him, even when the world wanted him to sprint alone. Born Jamar Rolando McNaughton on October 10, 1992 in Spanish Town, Jamaica, he grew up in a house where music wasn't a hobby, it was the air everyone breathed. His father, Selvin Chronicle McNaughton, moved between studios and rehearsals, and the boy followed, wide-eyed, absorbing the smell of cables and dust, the way grown men close their eyes when a harmony landed just right. As a child, he wrote his first song at 5 years old, small hands gripping a pencil, shaping words that sounded too old for his years. By 11, he was already recording professionally. The nickname Little Chronicle clung to him like a borrowed coat, warm but heavy with expectation, until he renamed himself Chronix, claiming space for his own voice while honoring the one that taught him how to breathe in rhythm. Teenage years hardened his craft. At St. Catherine High School, classmates whispered about the little star who balanced homework with studio sessions. He built rhythms late into the night, sending beats to artists like Conscience and Popcon, learning the architecture of songs from the inside out. In between, he sketched and crafted, hands restless with visual ideas, dreaming briefly of studying art at Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. But life interrupted his plans with sharp finality. The death of his brother cut through his quiet confidence, and the later loss of his mentor, Alti Joe Nunez, sealed his decision. He would not wait for permission anymore. He stepped out from behind the boards and into the light, carrying grief in his chest and melody on his tongue. The world noticed when the rhythms began to travel. A mixtape presented by Diplo under the banner of Major Lazer opened doors far beyond Kingston. Then came the moment that shifted everything. His performance of Here Comes Trouble on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Viewers who had never set foot in Jamaica leaned closer to their screens, hearing something ancient and immediate at once. His EP, Dread and Terrible, climbed to the top of the reggae charts, not because it chased trends, but because it refused to. Later, his album Chronology earned a Grammy nomination, placing him in rooms he once only passed by as a boy trailing his father's footsteps. Fame followed him onto massive stages, Glastonbury Festival, Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival, and beyond. Yet he remained careful with his spotlight. He collaborated across worlds, trading verses with Damian Marley, harmonizing with Alicia Keys, bridging continents with Wizkid. Still, he kept a small circle, choosing presence over noise. When fatherhood arrived, he stepped back from releases to step into bedtime routines, carrying his daughter on tour so the road would not make him a stranger at home. His journey has not been without friction. Words spoken in anger sparked backlash. Principles voiced too bluntly drew criticism. When he challenged platforms and defended unpopular positions, the internet flared. But those moments revealed the same stubborn core that shaped his music. He would rather be misunderstood than silent. Even the mixed reactions to his later work reminded listeners that he was not building a product line, he was building a life in sound, one that changes as he changes. In the end, Chronix's biography reads less like a climb and more like a circle. A boy raised in studios grows into a man who builds creative homes for others. A teen who once stayed behind the scenes becomes a voice for those who feel unseen. His legacy is not only in awards or streams, but in the quiet confidence he offers young artists who watch him move, that you can honor tradition without being trapped by it, that you can carry loss without letting it hollow you out, and that sometimes the bravest thing a singer can do is slow down long enough to tell the truth.